Father, do you know when we feel a weight within us, afraid that everything can go wrong? Yeah, I'm feeling that way. Do you know when a person feels lost in the midst of confusion? Yeah, this is me. That's how I feel. It is a meaningless sadness. I know I have a potential to be happy, to look much more. Even incentive other people do the same. I encourage them not to have fear, but I'm experiencing a lot of this fear. I feel prisoner, and it has bothered me. This has given me a great anguish. Somehow we all include ourselves. Because who doesn't have to live this daily challenge? Living is a daily challenge. It's like drinking water. The water you took yesterday is not for today's headquarters. The food you ate yesterday, of course. It may be nourishing you yet, but you need to renew the food. The meaning for life is like that too. It is me to break the rules of defects for me to start living on the rules of virtues. I have sensitivity, the simplicity of identifying my excesses. What makes me a difficult person and start working. The sooner I start working this, the greater the benefit, because it's good for us to live the conversion. We are more enjoyable. We are happier. We are more fulfilled. And this is the first benefit of the convention, that when we give up these excesses, we look even more beautiful. Because you start to make room to grow on you what the excesses do not allow. Many virtues do not grow in us. It is because defects, suffocity. The defect has an ordinary, absurd power of choking daily. It is just like the one who is addicted, while he doesn't look in the mirror and says, "This addiction kills me." He doesn't start to break free. It's no use saying. The addict must recognize himself as a killer of himself. Only from the moment he recognizes himself does he stop killing himself. And that addiction, which is an ordinary poison, because it is every day, he stops in the veins. He stops in his mouth. He stops polluting his head. And that person suddenly begins to perceive beautiful things, which until then she did not notice. Because addiction did not allow. My people, sometimes we are cultivating some harmful habits, and we no longer accuse ourselves. You know that a great human damage, which I have identified, is that people get used to what they feel bad. They adapt to what is bad. They lost the ability to be outraged, as I was saying. Sometimes you can't recruit the best in yourself. It is being shot down. That's IG. This is not just your problem, my daughter. All of us, if we don't take care, we lose the reference of reality. What we really need to do. For what? Do it to achieve the best of us. This is conversion. When I lose the ability to indignate with what is bad in my ambience, I lose the power to transform. It is the indignation that moves me toward change. It is a damage that we cannot measure when a human being gets used to the defects he has. Because sometimes people forget to allow God to transform their hearts. Sometimes it transforms only the outside aspect. But what about the heart? What is this that makes me before each other? Is this that makes me promoting the other in love, tolerance? Sometimes people don't look into each other. Sometimes we are feeding a difficult, heavy temperament, and we say that it is converted or is in the process of conversion. Okay, but what process is that not accelerating our simplicity, our lightness? What conversion is this that does not make me a lighter person to others? What conversion is this that does not get myself out of arrogance? It is the first sign, my people, whom they say religious, because it is the fruit of spirituality in us. I do not feel better than anyone. I look in the eyes of others without pretending that I am better than them. He knows, if I'm a good boss, it's okay to be hard. The good boss is usually hard, demanding but never arrogant, demanding but never intolerant, demanding but not unbearable. And I have the opportunity to choose to be a positive answer or be a negative answer. I can be an evangelical response here, based on this word, or I can be an unholy answer, which has no commitment to the sacredity of life. People. I can be a Christian response that will favor good relationships fruitful, loving, You can be a positive answer as a husband in your wife's life, in your children's lives. You may be in your husband's life, your children, your brothers. You got out of bed, you start to be an answer to the world. This is interesting. When I realize that a sacrifice, a gesture of renunciation will help me break the power of the rules of defects. Because a human being who lives adapted to his shortcomings, a human being who lives under the rules of his defects, he is unbearable. He is difficult at work. He is difficult within the family. He is difficult in the love relationships he will live. Why? Because he's a porcupine, isn't it? You are always ready to throw your thorns on others. What to do when the past doesn't want to pass. I suffered a betrayal, and I've not been able to get back. Sandra, my daughter, the past doesn't pass when we close the door so that it won't leave. Every time we insist on martyrifying within us a negative experience, she won't pass. And we know time is the best medicine we can live and experience and manage to us. The pain that affected me so much the day before yesterday, my concern that was taking me sleepy the day before yesterday. As I am shutting down, chewing, managing the right way, putting first thing, we have to do what way I can. If something is worrying, the first thing, what can I do to decrease this concern? Is there anything concrete I can do? So okay, you have a pain, a betrayal. Have you ever been there in the trader to return his trash? Do you have something choking? Anything you need to solve inside your heart? Throw it away, through words, a cry. Whatever. Any attitude that can decrease that feeling of discomfort. We need to do it. The same thing is the concern. When something worries me and I discover that concern, what I can do to reduce the effect of this concern in my life and do it. So I start to solve. Open the doors for this past to begin to pass. Because otherwise, we will reply to the experience that was not worth it. We will hold on to the event. The event that hurt us, which hurt us. And then we will live a continuous process of injuries and injuries. Because they're a remembrance, grudge, resentment. They only cause new wounds within us. I never saw someone as flushed keeping resentment. What is resentment? Resent. It is feeling several times. It is as if you take a razor and pass it on the same place on the skin. It will never heal. And the cut is getting worse because you are injuring the skin. Harm. Wise. Will be injured. You will miss the opportunity to live the healing. It's not like this. Have you ever noticed that when you start healing, it gives a coconut? It's not like this. Healing causes a feeling of itching, right? Within us is the same thing. You can observe there are many effective situations that sometimes we are starting to recover from it. Then you have that feeling once and up. To want to resume are the healing coconuts. Hold it from there. Can keep your hatred under control. Can keep your resentment under control. Can keep your needs under control. And then you begin to live the process of liberating the negative consequences that fact has caused you. Is life? Everyone is hurt. I can't create a round for me. You can't create one for you. So, from time to time, people will hurt us with words. People will hurt us with attitudes. Now, you cannot allow the word that hurts and the attitude that hurts will cause injuries to your being and take too long. Stay inside you, extend more than the time it should be. Reached your being, it was in the deep of your life, it was in the deep of your heart. It starts to find a way to heal it. Because from the moment you have a wound in being, you risk infecting everything. In affection, this works that way. From time to time, something comes. It loses its willingness to studies. Loses its willingness to work. Why? That has an impact. It affects us. Now the time that will last what it affects you needs to be administered by you. After all, it's your being that is at stake, isn't it? And suddenly you start to do everything wrong because the being is hurt. So there is always a hurt in the being that needs to be cared for. My people, this is an exercise of every day, see? To live the experience of being with Jesus is to live all the time to manage within us these healing that we need to live so that we look like Jesus. I want to look like him. But to look like him, I need to heal in my being many things that are wrong. I need from time to time visit my past to understand the present to you. Sometimes I'm arrogant? Is it at some point in my life I was too humiliated? And because I was too humiliated, I have difficulty managing the moments when someone challenges me. No one is by chance. The healing of being happens when we pray, when I ask God to heal my heart, to heal my mind. These are expressions that we use all the time. But God often heals our hearts, heals our mind through our reflection. When you begin to put your disorderly feelings in order, when you begin to resume the harmony that sometimes life and events have taken away. And that is what I wish you, that in your life today, your story, you are committed to cure the wounds of your being. If you hurt you, don't take it to you. Just take it as a teaching, so you don't do it with another. But do not allow this to become bitter. Sadness, to be creative, has to exercise within us the movement of overcoming. So, because I'm sad, because I'm hurt, upset, I watch that moment. I live that moment as a purpose of overcoming it, because if I don't overcome, I risk turning it into bitterness. And bitterness is not good for the heart. Bitter heart cannot perceive life. Bitter heart is focused on the same things. When we focus on the same things, when we don't expand our gaze, we risk unhappy our life experience. I wish in the bottom of my heart that today your being can be strengthened. As today's program, suddenly you have found that you are being objectified by someone, that you are living the human relationship. Relationships are not respecting what you are. It's time to scream this independence there, isn't it? Because God wants you free, being able to plunge more and more in the mysteries of being, correcting being, fixing what is wrong there in being. Undoubtedly, your attitudes, your works will be much more mature, much more satisfactory. This is what we want. Having a pure heart, so that our attitude can be just a reflection of a gesture that has not even begun. The gesture, before it happens, moves me. It is a movement that the other does not see. But that leads me to go ahead, which brings me coherence, which configures me to Christ. Before my love gesture, there is a heart that loves in me. And this needs to be careful all the time, because if here the heart is too weakened, being too hurt, we risk turning it into infertile territory. Then the attitude will not advance anything. Because when we make a gesture of love, it is not only the other who benefits, but I am too. Because love, just as it is good for those who receive it, is doing very well too.